Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Amrit. Today I share with you how you can create this beautifully transparent blur effect on your any image. To learn this, let's get started the video. To follow this tutorial, you can download this email link in the description. In first step, just go to side panel and select here a rectangle tool. I'm just create here a rectangle shape. You can create here any shape. If you create this transparent blur effect in a ellipse, then you can also create that. I'm just selecting here this rectangle. Now I'm just changing here its color to a white. After this I'm just hit on a OK button. Now just hide this layer and select this background layer and just press Ctrl J to make another copy of this layer and move this layer to a top of this shape 1 and just change its name to a transprent blur. After changing its name, just right click on it and convert this into a smart object. After converting this into a smart object, just go to top panel and select here this filter. In this filter, you can select here this blur. In this blur, just select here this Gaussian blur. You can just select here a Gaussian blur value to any value you want. How much you want a blur on your image, you can just select this Gaussian blur according to your preference. I am just selecting here a value of 30 pixels. After this, just hit on a OK button. Now just turn this shape 1 layer on and select here this transparent blur and right click on it and just create here a clipping mask. When you click on this clipping mask, with this transparent blur effect is only limited to this shape 1 which we created earlier. I am just turn this layer on. Now to make this transparent blur beautifully, I am just selecting here this shape 1 and right click on it and selecting here this blending option. In this blending option, I am just selecting here this stroke and double click on this stroke and you can change here its value. I am just increasing here size of this stroke. I am selecting here a value of the stroke to 7 pixels. You can select this size according to your preference and I am changing its color to a white. You can select here any color. I am selecting here this white color. After this I am just hit on a OK button. Make sure you selecting here a position of the outside. Now I am just selecting here this color overlay. With this you can add here a color on this shape. I am just double click on this and you can change here its color also white. After this just hit on a OK button and just decrease here opacity to 8 or 7%. Now just select this gradient overlay and double click on this. With this dialog box is opened where you change values. I am just selecting here this gradient and I am selecting here left side color to this bluish look. You can select here any color you want. I am selecting here this bluish. This is optional. If you want to add a gradient look with the colorish look, then you can select this gradient overlay option. With this these transparent blur is looking beautifully. I am selecting here this bluish look. After this I am just hit on OK button and you can select here a style of any style. You can select here a linear, you can select here this diamond, or you can select here this angle. I am just selecting here this linear and you can also change here a gradient value angle to anywhere. I am selecting here a angle of minus 67 degree. After this I am just changing here its blend mode from normal to multiply. With this this gradient overlay blend with this transparent blur and now I am just decreasing here its opacity to just 18% and after this I am just hit on OK button. Now you can see here this transparent blur is looking some beautiful and realistic. To add a final look to this transparent blur, I am just selecting this shape 1 and double click on this and I am just add here a shadow. With this shadow this transparent blur is looking beautifully. You can just double click on this shadow and you can just increase here spread value and you can just change here its angle value. I am just selecting here angle to a 117, and you can also increase its size of this drop shadow. I am selecting here a size of a 52 pixels, and after this I am just hit on a OK button. Now you can see here with this drop shadow, this is looking beautifully and realistic. Now I am selecting this transparent layer and going to a side panel, and I am selecting here this text tool, and I am just type a text on this transparent blur. I am just type here transparent blur, and you can change here its text color. Just select this and go to top panel, and you can just change here its color to any color you want. I am selecting here this from image sample size. Let's select here this color. After this I am just hit on a OK button, and I am double click on this, and I am just add here a shadow to make this realistic. I am just adding here a shadow, and I am just adjust this shadow here. You can change here its angle value on this dialog box, or you can directly adjust this value on this canvas. After this I am just hit on a OK button. Now I am just adjust this text here. Now you can see here a final result after adding these all adjustment layers to create this beautifully transparent blur effect. You can see here, this is before, this is after adding these all layers. That's it. With these simple steps you can create this beautifully transparent blur effect on your any image. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like this video and also subscribe this channel for more tutorial like this. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.